What's up, family? It's Kiki Black, and welcome to part 3 of my 13 weeks postpartum update. So, I talked to you guys about baby Lobo, I talked to you guys about my body bounce back and what I'm going through there, but I also wanted to share with you the mental. I talked a little bit about it before with postpartum anxiety. I've definitely been dealing with a little bit of that. I had a situation where I was just going through a lot, overwhelmed, frustrated, was trying to do some things with the business, but felt like I didn't really have time to do it, and it just felt like all of my days were just like going. Like I barely even had time to just sit down and like take a breather. So it can feel overwhelming. And anyway, so this particular day, Micah took baby Lobo out for a walk, and I was like, okay, let me get some work done. So I'm like on the computer working, and I hear baby Lobo scream, like a piercing scream, like something is wrong scream. So I jump up from the computer, and I go running down the hallway, only to remember that Micah took Lobo for a walk, and the baby isn't even here. And it was crazy because I was in tears. Like I was in tears. I was freaked out, and at that moment I was like, wow, he isn't even here. I know that he isn't here, but I am still like crying, like I know he isn't here. I know that he's okay, but I just heard this cry, had this extreme overload of anxiety, and I can't stop it. Like I'm freaking out. And so I definitely had to pray about it, but I had to work through it. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, I think a lot of times when people talk about postpartum depression, they make it seem like you're supposed to be like, oh, my life is terrible. I just want to, unalive myself. And if you're not doing that, then it's not postpartum depression or anything like that. But I noticed that a lot of people don't really talk about postpartum anxiety and just how overwhelmed and overstimulated that you get, right? And how sometimes people will try to help or try to be there to support, but it's just like, I just need you to just back up for a second. And we've been blessed because we're here in Central America, Panama City, Panama. But even it's crazy, like even sometimes people calling on the phones, like the grandmas and stuff, you be like, yo, like back up, hold on, which, kudos to them. Baby Lobo has amazing grandparents, amazing grandmothers, and an amazing grandpa. So grateful for them. But, sometimes when the moms, they forget that it was 30 plus years since they had their last newborn, and they come from a place of caring and love for your little ones. But sometimes they come off as demanding, like, hey, you need to do A, B, and C, and you're like, no, I don't need to do anything because this is my child, and I know what my child needs at this point. Because, you get to know your baby, you get to know what they like, what they don't like, their moods, what they need, how they cry when they want certain things, how they adjust when they're uncomfortable. You get to learn your baby, and I think sometimes with them just caring so much, it can be overwhelming, so you do have to kind of take a step back and just be like, okay, they're only saying this, or they're only doing this because they care, and then try not to let yourself get upset or overwhelmed. A big thing for me during this process, even in my relationship during this postpartum period, has been emotional intelligence. So with the Feminine Fit movement, we always talk about emotional intelligence and how to navigate different situations and things like that. But a untouched territory for me is dealing with that postpartum, right? Because everything feels more intense. Like I don't feel out of control, but close to it at times. And something that may just be like on a normal day, it becomes like slow Mariah Carey tears during the postpartum period. So something that would normally be slow Mariah Carey tears on a normal day is now like boo-hoo crying, snot, overwhelming type deal. So just going through those process of the emotional intelligence that I taught the ladies, or that we talk about, and being like, okay, is this real? Am I freaking out about something that doesn't even exist, right? And then if it is something that does exist, or that is real, or a real situation, then analyzing it from there, like, okay, what's my desired outcome? How do I get to the desired outcome that I want? If screaming and cursing is not going to get you to your desired outcome, doing it and blaming it on postpartum is absolutely insane, right? It's absolutely insane. Why would you allow yourself to do that? And it can be harder to be in control during this period, but I think awareness is everything. Awareness of your mental state, staying connected on a spiritual level to God, prayer, reading your Bible, meditation, and then also having accountability. Like, you don't get to be a butthole because you have hormones raging through your body. Now, it is important to have those conversations with your partner, significant other, and the people around you, which more than likely they're not going to understand, but hopefully they can somewhat empathize with you and work with you in the process. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but it's up to you to make sure that you're okay and to reach out and get the help and the support you need, whether that means joining a group of moms, like the Feminine and Fit Moms, to help to kind of navigate through some of these situations or some of these issues that come about, or whether it's, talking to your mom, or speaking to one of your girlfriends or something like that. It's not easy. Like, I've heard about postpartum and postpartum depression a little bit, but it's to experience it for myself is something that is unexplainable. And if I'm experiencing it and I can't explain it, then you can't expect somebody else, particularly a man or even somebody who's never had kids before, to understand what you're going through mentally or even physically or emotionally. So just navigating that, giving myself grace, but also having a level of accountability, and then also giving grace to my partner and my significant other and the people that I interact with, my parents and things like that, and knowing that some of the things that happen are out of a place of love. And then even if they aren't out of a place of love, like maybe they're going through something and they're like splurging it on me, and I'm like, hey, I just had a kid, like, be gentle, calm down. Not letting myself get so upset and so overwhelmed to the point that it is taking from the energy that I need to pour into my baby. So, yeah. Peace out. That's my update. This is the last one. I have nothing else. If you have any questions about anything, about my experience giving birth and having my son here in Central America, in Panama City, Panama, feel free to ask any questions about my postpartum journey, postpartum fitness, meals, diet, etc. Feel free to ask, and I will do a video to answer your questions. And if you need any personalized help, if you want to join a community of moms, like-minded moms who are all about improving themselves mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, definitely check out the Feminine and Fit Movement's moms. Or if you're not a mom, or maybe your kids are grown out the house, you can definitely join the Feminine and Fit Movement and get ready to improve your health of mind, body, and spirit with that. All right?